Ladies and gentlemen, in this Red Gaming Tidicom video, let us discuss loading times for the PlayStation Now, the beta that's currently going around. So, how this basically worked is that right now there's a very small beta phase that's going about, and there was very limited number of users. And there was an anonymous leak with a list of loading times for various games. And so, the length of time that these games took to load, I mean, there are a variety of different games, so we'll go into them in a moment, but titles like Xenoclash, Dead Nation, Shadow of the Colossus, and so forth. And some of the loading times were quite lengthy. I mean, we're talking almost a minute for loading, which is, well, you know, go get a coffee kind of time. But Sony have now basically tried to improve the loading times somewhat, and basically they've somewhat succeeded. So how these loading times are measured is basically from the time the game is launched until the splash screen. So apparently DualShockers, which was the website that these tips were sent into, they also provided video evidence, but obviously they're not going to send that because or publish that video evidence for obvious reasons, mostly for privacy, because it obviously has the user's account details shown. So what type of loading times do we have? Well, I'm not going to read all of it, but I'll go for a couple of the big ones. Shadow of the Colossus was 46 seconds 72, now is down, and that's down from almost 54 seconds. So, not huge, but a decent number. Meanwhile, Wipeout HD is 57 seconds. Dead or Alive 5, old time was 51 seconds, now it's 36.55. You've got other titles such as Alien Rage at basically 40 seconds. Order Up 35.66, Rise of the Guardians 35, pretty much exactly the same time as Puzzle Quest data. You've got Disgaea 4, 33 seconds rather than 47, so it's not too bad. I mean, there is a definite improvement there. So one has to remember a couple of points. His loading times are going to differ extremely to yours, primarily based upon your internet connection speed. So let's assume that you have a 60 MB connection. Yours are going to differ to, say, your friend John's, who has like a 20 MB connection. However, the user in question in this case has the same internet connection, so apparently he has not, or she, whatever, has not upgraded, changed, or whatever. He's got pretty much exactly the same setup. So in theory, the loading times, you know, the difference should remain pretty consistent. So obviously this is a good sign that Sony are improving their service. They're obviously improving the optimization of the bandwidth. They may be doing a little bit more compression and so forth and so forth. So that's definitely a good thing. But it's not just that, of course. Obviously your network latency and bandwidth are going to have some stuff to do with this, but it's also most likely how fast the actual virtual machines are that Sony's machines are that are running this. Obviously they're testing this and figuring out, you know, what's going on. So obviously they're probably still doing optimizations on a lot of that as well. And obviously it is a beta for a reason. Hopefully, because let's face it, if you've got a you know, a fairly reasonable hard drive in there, let's say you've got like a 7200 RPM or whatever drive, it's probably not going to take you basically a minute to load the game, assuming it's stored locally. It's probably going to take you, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, something along those lines. And so most people don't really have the patience to wait almost a minute for the title to load, but hey, it is an improvement, right? Anyway, I'm going to leave you guys to it. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. I'll see you soon. Take care, and bye for now.